Hey everybody, this is the Crazy Music Geek, and this is going to be my contest entry for MrMayo's 5,000 subscriber extravaganza. So, I'm just going to go over the questions, and yeah. How long have I watched this channel? Off and on, I've been watching Mr. Mayo since around 2014. Mainly because I remember the first video I stumbled upon him was the US albums box set because I was curious about buying it. But yeah, ever since I saw that, I've been watching him ever since on various accounts. The videos that I think he makes the best of are the live streams, mainly because I just like to troll a little bit. But I also like asking interesting questions that he hasn't addressed in a video before. Alright, so now I'm going to show you my 3 favorite Beatles albums. So this is 3, 2, 1. My third favorite is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. My second favorite is Abbey Road. And my first favorite, and probably my #1 album of all time, is Rubber Soul. Now, beyond the Beatles, my 5 favorite albums would be debut Elvis Presley. This is actually a Friday music pressing. David Bowie's The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust. Johnny Cash's At Folsom Prison Blues. At Folsom Prison. Then Prince's Purple Rain. And then my second favorite album of all time is The Doors' debut album. Yep. So for prized possessions, this is probably one of the only things I have in my collection that's pretty valuable, or could be. These are autographs from Peter Noone from Herman's Hermits, Gary Puckett and his drummer, and the Buckinghams. That was pretty cool because I saw them in concert. Alright, so my least favorite albums by the Beatles is kind of a tie between Please Please Me and Yellow Submarine. Yellow Submarine I included because it's not really a full Beatles album, but that's like the most specific, stereotypical kind of reason. So if that doesn't count, I put Please Please Me, mainly because I felt like they were still just kind of forming up. It's still a good album, though. Both of them are still pretty good albums. Now I'm going to show my favorite album cover, and if you're into the progressive rock world, this is King Crimson's In the Court of the Crimson King. Freaking love that album cover. I remember when I was in the 8th grade, I would try and imitate this and draw it. Didn't work out so well, but it did get hung up on a teacher's wall, so that was pretty cool. Now for terrible album covers. I love Prince, but you gotta admit, this is a really bad album cover. He's got the chest hair, like, what in the world? It just looks so out of focus and out of place. If it weren't for Prince being on this, I think it would have been one of those albums that you looked up, like, worst album covers of all time, and it would appear. So, now we're going to talk about my favorite decade of music. You see, my tastes kind of range from everywhere. 50s through 90s are mainly my big ones, but if I had to pick a decade to go with, I'd probably pick the 70s, mainly because a lot of my favorite rock bands came from the 70s, with the 60s being very, very close in second. Then probably my least favorite decade of music is the 2000s. Just looking at everything in that decade, there just wasn't a whole lot of innovation and not a whole lot of acts that really stood out to me. So yeah, that's my contest. What I want to see from your channel in the future, I'd like to see more Dawn, and I'd also like to see you and Larry Graves do a duet. I think that'd be pretty cool. Anyway, peace.